a lot of times people's like, no, I can't associate my name with that because I'm a brand. No, I'm doing this right now. I can't, nobody wants to talk about it. And how do you heal something and fix something if we're not talking about it? We're only talking behind closed doors,
Yeah, that's it's one of those things. It really is.
you know? So
Yeah.
if you, let me ask you this, and it's just throwing caution to the wind. If someone you knew felt depressed, suicidal, you saw emotions of that, and they leaned on you, like, yo, I can't get this out. I don't know what to do. Do you, like, people don't know what to do? What's a word of advice you would give someone?
I think it's always really it's just it's unique, what I mean, to the just the person and the
Mm-hmm.
situation. I've had my kids deal with depression and have, or at least articulate that they feel like they're having,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, all sorts of thoughts. And in those instances, I feel like you just got to love them up. You got to, wrap them up in love and just let them know that you're there for them, and that that they have that you're there to support, that they have a support system,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of just make them comfortable with opening up and talking about it. And like I said, showing that vulnerability, I mean, peeling back that layer to let you know everything that's sort of going on, that to let to reassure them that they don't have to go through it alone. But I meet people who are fans of my music. Like there's a fellow who's become a close friend of mine who I met on social media. He said, I'm thinking about ending my life. I think I'm gonna
Mm.
do it tonight. And he was a heavy drinker at the time. He's a brother who lives in Oklahoma, and I don't even recall what it was that I said to him, but I think I asked him if he had kids, and you know, um, like you were saying earlier, I talked to him about just his value and what he means to the rest of his family.
Mm-hmm.
And again, and this is somebody who I didn't know, but I just let him know that I was there. If he needed somebody to talk to help him work through whatever he was going through, I made myself available and I helped him get through it. And he's turned his life around since then. You know what I'm saying? We don't really talk about how we met, but he's turned his life around. He's been writing all these different grants, and he's opened up a school
Wow.
out there in Oklahoma to he teaches young people how to record music and how to play instruments and that whole thing. And he's doing great. And when I go out that way,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm in Oklahoma or Nevada, or he's come as far as Texas, just to hang out, just to to see me at a root show, or whatever. He'll take a drive, and we keep in contact. I spoke to him just a few days ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not the only person that I have a relationship like that with. And again, I feel like those are the folks who, it doesn't matter what the dope line was that I said, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, or what song was their favorite song. It's about, how you make them feel and the difference that you're able to make in
It's
their
the
life.
connection. And,
Yeah,
and,
it's the
and, and
connection.
so the lyric, the dope lyric, might have been the
Yeah,
door that brought them to you.
yeah,
Um, it's not always your job or your vessel to say, oh, I have to fix this.
yeah,
But sometimes just that window of opportunity is what's needed. And like you
yeah.
said, you guys may not talk about it. One of the statistics show men who speak about suicide or attempt suicide are more likely to be successful down the road in completing it
Mm,
than women, because
mm,
men don't express themselves as much. They're not as
mm,
emotional. So if they're talking about it, we really got to pay attention with the males,
yeah,
because they will act out on it. Whereas females, we're a little bit more emotional, and we talk about it, but it's the people who don't have someone to talk to.
right.
Um, that's really important. And if there's for you a message of hope that you can give someone to just keep pushing forward, to keep, like I say, I always say, if I'm feeling that way today and I'm like, okay, today is the day, a promise that I've made myself and my husband, just get through today, go to sleep,
Yeah,
and then let's just do it. If you're going to do it tomorrow. Rational thinking is, I got to say the same thing tomorrow, right? So I'm aware of that, but I made a promise of getting through today.
yeah.
And so I always say, push through the pain. People go through way more than I'm going through, way
Yeah.
more than that's on our plates, right?
Hmm.
And I'll liken it to, it doesn't really matter what socioeconomic background you come from or where you are, because you have Phyllis Hyman, you had Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And so you look at it like, how, why? And then you have people whose whole family, they've been a loner by themselves, tragic backgrounds, and they trench up and get through. And so I try to look at both sides and say, you're going to be weak or you're going to lead by example. Because I do have a daughter watching me, and now I have a granddaughter. And so it's like, before I say I'm doing it for them, we've got to learn to do for ourselves first, make ourselves a priority, and don't put the weight of the world on us. So a message of hope, like it means the world to me that you were willing to even have this conversation. Because like I said, many people don't want that name, that mental health conversation attached with them in any form.
I think if anything, my message is on par with yours in that, yeah, it's you got to take it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to, what I'm saying, to boil it down to getting through the day, and if the day, one day at a time seems daunting, then do 1 hour at a time.
Right.
You know, a good friend of mine who passed away now once told me, you got to go through it to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think what that means is that nothing that you have to deal with, nothing that no trauma, no pressure, nothing that you might have to rise up to and cope with is going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about thinking, envisioning what's on the other side of that hour, of that day, of that week, of that year,
Mm-hmm.
and what it is that you're trying to get to. That sometimes is what helps us to push through the pain, as you say.
Yeah, that's the biggest message
Yeah,
that each podcast I give, no matter what it is or where you are, push through the pain.
yeah,
From being on top to being sick, you got to be willing to put the work in.
yeah,
Like, I can go to a doctor and they can give me medications. I can go to a therapist and him have a conversation with me. None of that matters and none of it works.
yeah,
Everything that's given to me, I still have to do the work.
yep,
And that's in everything in life. You got to be willing to, like, are you worth it?
yep,
So if I grow up saying I never felt like I was seen, I never felt important, I never felt like I was worth it. All right, how long do you carry that badge, that bag, that tattoo? At some point you got to say, well, let me show you why I'm worth it, and wear it as your own. So is there anything that I might have left out that you want to share?
I mean, no, I feel like you pretty much covered it, man. There's so much that you're saying that is exactly what, as I would put it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where I'm at with it, you know. And it's about, I guess, we have to get rid of the stigma that's associated with, being open and honest and vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
showing our true emotions and in the way that we feel about mental health issues, because it is it's something that we all on some level have dealt with or are going through right now, whether
Right.
it's personally or a family member or whatever, whether it's diagnosed or undiagnosed or what have you. So yeah, it's one of those things, man. So I would say, take it one day at a time.
And to end with that, like your boy Wallow said today, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
It definitely is. It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
And we don't have to put on these ears to make people think of us a certain way. Life is short. Our days are numbered.
Yeah.
So do what makes or keeps you happy. That's a Roland saying. That's a Roland. Do what makes or keeps you happy, and you move from there. And so, again, I thank you tremendously for this. It means the world to me, and I'm gonna keep pushing until my message is heard, and it keeps helping someone else.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Please do. Please do.
okay.
Yeah, I'll come back and check you. Thanks for having me.
All love. I thank you so much. So, so much.